Hey everyone, how's it going? Simon here from CD Revival, and I'm back after a couple of months of not doing anything. Well, not doing anything, but not doing any videos. But I'm okay, I'm good. Just been super busy, obviously with one thing and another, and sometimes life gets in the way of doing YouTube videos and what have you. But back today with a fairly large, as you'd expect, update. Not posted anything for a while, say a couple of months. So I'm going to show you what I have been busy collecting over the last couple of months. So hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back to the channel, and new subscribers that I've had a fair few of recent weeks. Thanks for subscribing, and this is what I've been getting. So we'll start off with a fairly large amount, so we'll try and whiz through them a bit quickish. Literally picked this one up today. This is the new Kerry King album from Hell I Rise. This one I got from Amazon. It's still got the shrink wrap on it because it has got, which you might be able to pick up on the camera, a crack in the jewel case. So Amazon are getting that one back. They're sending me a new copy tomorrow, and I'll return this one. But yeah, I've listened to it a couple of times on Apple Music today while I've been driving around doing my job. And yeah, really enjoy it. It seems like it's been a long time coming, but well worth waiting for, I think. Quite slayery, as you'd expect, but not completely. There's some tracks that are very Slayer, some tracks that if they were done by Slayer you'd think, oh, that's a bit of a change. So a good mixed bag of stuff on here. Obviously heavy. He's had a long time to work on it. Good group of musicians with him as well, so very enjoyable. If you're a fan of Slayer, then definitely check it out. If you're a fan of heavier thrash music, definitely check it out. It's a good album. Next one, this one came out last Friday. Probably my album of the year so far, Sebastian Bach's The Child Within the Man. Slightly iffy front cover. It's a painting by his father. Better than I could paint, quite honestly, but still unusual, let's call it. But yeah, really great hard rock album. Best thing he's done since Skid Row. I mean, the Skid Row without him, I think of, Being Kind, not been great. But yeah, really strong album. Things like What Do I Got to Lose, which is I think the first single. That's a fantastic track. First 4 tracks are really very good. But yeah, really cool album. Really enjoy listening to this. The more I listen to it, the more I enjoy it. So if you're a fan of Skid Row or Sebastian Bach or just good old school hard rock, this is a good album to check out. I strongly recommend it. This one here, another bit of an Amazon story with this one, Hellfire and Damnation by Saxon. Pre-ordered this one. This one came out in the middle of January. The one that I pre-ordered has got a signed insert with it, which you can see here. So that's signed by the band. Didn't arrive. It's like, oh, there's going to be a delay on that. I think it eventually arrived somewhere in April. It was like, do you want to cancel your order? It's like, no, you send it to me. I've ordered it. You send it. And to be fair, I'd pretty much given up hope of receiving the limited edition one. Was going to buy just the original one, but yeah, eventually they pulled it out of the bag, and we got it. It's a good album. Probably a bit better than the last one, Carpe Diem, which was also a good album. Very much a history lesson all the way through the album. It's like Biff Byford sits there with his history books and picks a topic and goes, yeah, that'll do. But yeah, things like Madame Guillotine, Something in Roswell, Kubla Khan and the Merchant of Venice, Pirates of the Airwaves, 1066, Witches of Salem. It's all, he's writing about historical events. Good riffs, good album. I mean, they're still doing it. They're, in their 60s and what have you, probably maybe somewhat slightly older. But yeah, really enjoyable. Still good stuff from Saxon. Picked this one up, which is Till Lindemann, lead singer from Rammstein. I think it's his second solo album. Rammstein-esque, some stuff that's slightly different. I can't really show too much of the inner stuff because it's quite racy. This one's all in German. I think his first solo album, Skills in Pills, he did sing in English. This one he sings in German again. And yeah, decent album. Say deluxe sort of book. Can't show you the pictures because there's female parts. What else have we got? This one's an old school album. This is Spiritualized. Ladies and gentlemen, we're floating in space. This was the original, one of the limited edition ones. So it comes in like a sort of medicine box, and the actual CD itself is it's like in a pill, blistery type thing. So yeah, quite limited in its time. There's one with like each individual track on it, and that's worth many hundreds of pounds. This one, if it's sealed and still in the blister, is worth considerably more than it's worth if it's not sealed in the blister. But still a really cool album, spacey rock. Yeah, if you like that sort of thing, it's really cool. So I was happy to pick that one up. Another quite trancey, The Orb, sort of trance house, ambient house. I think it's maybe their fifth album. Not sure. Still pretty cool though. If you like ambient house, you'll like it. If you don't, you really won't. This one from Airborne. This is Running Wild. Yeah, I like Airborne quite a lot. Obviously AC/DC-esque, but good old-fashioned hard rock. Too Much Too Young Too Fast is a really cool track from this. Stand Up for Rock and Roll. Lots of really cool stuff on here. It's just a good old-fashioned metal/rock album. This one is a double album. Decade, full clip, A Decade of Gangstar, so sort of gangstery rap kind of thing. This one was from a charity shop. It's a double disc version. I think I paid like maybe £1 for it. So yeah, that one if you like that sort of thing. Weezer first album, Blue Album I guess it's called. This one's got Buddy Holly on it, which is probably their most famous track. I think that came with Windows once upon a time. It's like, got Windows? Have Buddy Holly on video. Maybe it came with like QuickTime Player if you're old enough to remember that or something. But yeah, cool album, old school 90s. This one I picked up is the only Van Halen album I didn't have, and I'm planning on doing a Van Halen ranking soon. So this is Van Halen 3, the one they did with Gary Cherone, the last album before they did the one with David Lee Roth. Anyway, it's not their last album, but yeah, the third iteration of the band. Not the most popular album. I don't think it's fantastic, if I'm being brutally honest, but it's listenable, and it's the only one I didn't have. So, and it's getting quite hard to pick up these days as well, randomly. So, but yeah, look forward to a Van Halen ranking. If you're a Van Halen fan, will be coming up in the near future. This one from Muse, Simulation Theory. Not a bad album. I've only listened to this a couple of times actually. But yeah, fairly decent, sort of super sci-fi, cyberpunky vibe on it. Another one from Mastodon. I've been slowly building up my Mastodon collection. This one's The Hunter. This is a double disc edition. I think this has got a DVD with it. Possibly my favourite album of theirs that I've heard actually. Yeah, it's got a lot of good stuff on it. Curl of the Bell is a particular favourite. But some good stuff, and yeah, happy to get the 2-disc version. It's always nice to get the more limited version of it. This is another band that I've been getting into recently. This is Volbeat, Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies. This is a 2-disc version, once again, bonus CD on it. Listen to sort of Planet Rock if I'm not listening to sort of music in the, well, obviously that is music, but they kept playing Lola Montez, which I thought was, yeah, just a great track, and so that sort of spurred me on to listen to more of their stuff. This album is the only one that I've got so far, but yeah, do really enjoy it. Really good album. Don't really know how to describe it. Kind of rockabilly, metal-esque, but yeah, super catchy stuff as well. Very good album. Really enjoy that. Charity Shop. I already had this CD. This is a 2-disc version. This is These Days by Bon Jovi. So this comes with a lot of bonus CD with live stuff on there as well. It comes in some sort of special box, which is quite nice. Never a massive fan of Bon Jovi, saying that I did listen to Slippery When Wet earlier, which is still a classic. and did watch the recent documentary series that they did on Disney, which was quite interesting. Did quite enjoy that. But this is a fairly decent album. It's not bad at all. And say it was £1, I think, for the 2 CD version, so I was happy with that. U2, October. This is their second album, I think. One of the only ones that I didn't have of theirs as well. I think there's only one album that I'm missing of theirs now. Maybe 2, because they've done a few recently. They did where they redid their old songs. Gloria, probably one of the most famous tracks on here. But yeah, not bad. I do like U2. Maybe I'll do a ranking on their albums. Maybe not. I'm not too sure yet. But I pretty much got most of their stuff. Vital Idol by Billy Idol. Used to have this on vinyl when I was a youngster. A cool album, to be honest with you. It's all like sort of extended versions of things like White Wedding, Dancing with Myself, Catch My Fall, Hot in the City, etc. But yeah, I've got time for Billy Idol. I think I saw Motley Crue once and he came on and did Jailhouse Rock with them at the end. I know Motley Crue are a dirty word these days, but anyway, I digress. Good album. Couple from Mudvayne. These two here, End of All Things to Come and LD50. They come up on my random play, like on Apple Music. It's just like, you want to listen to Mudvayne, don't you? It's like, do I though? Saw these in a charity shop and thought, well, if I'm being forced to listen to them, I might as well pick a couple of their albums up. But yeah, not bad. Not listened to these fully yet, but I'll probably listen to most of them just at random. The only Queen album that I didn't have, this is Hot Space. My least favourite album. If you see my Queen ranking, this is at the bottom. But I did pick it up just for sort of completion value. It's got some awful tracks on here, if I'm being brutally honest with you. It's got Under Pressure on it, which is obviously the famous one. But things like, yeah, Body Language and Back Chat are a little bit cringeworthy for me, but I've got the whole collection now, so happy days. Someone paid $13.99 for that from Swordfish at one point, whoever they are. The Who Sell Out, pretty cool album. I've not got too much of the Who, but this one I picked up. I think it's yeah, it's quite interesting. It's got all the adverts on it and what have you as well, so quite like that one. This one is Rolling Stones, Shine a Light. This is the soundtrack for the movie they did with Martin Scorsese a little while back. I've not actually seen that actually, so maybe I should give that a go. This is 2 discs with, yeah, hits and what have you on it. This is an old school one, Jesus Jones. It's kind of like electro, semi-industrial, kind of poppy. This has got International Bright Young Thing on it, which was quite a famous track, and Real, Real, Real. They're probably the most 2 well-known ones. But yeah, quite like it. Once again, found it cheaply, so grabbed that. Another one of Weezer. Maladroit. Not familiar with this album at all. Need to check this one out. Let me know what you think, if you think it's worth listening to or not. Obviously I will do at some point. Really don't know any of the tracks on there, quite honestly. Someone once again paid $13.99 in HMV for that. Lynch Mob. This is the first Lynch Mob album. Obviously George Lynch from Dokken, great guitarist. This one's a really good album. Yeah, good old fashioned sort of glammy rock and roll type stuff. Some really good tracks on there, so that's well worth checking out if you're a fan of Dokken and or George Lynch. Nirvana, Muddy Banks of the Wish Car live album. It's not one live set, it's live bits from here and there, but it's got some cool tracks on it. Not necessarily all the hits. Obviously has got the hits on it, but some other good stuff as well, like Tourette's and Skull Aneurysm. That's a really cool track, to be fair. So yeah, good album. Leonard Skinner, first album. This has got Tuesday's Gone, Freebird, Give Me 3 Steps. Classic album, quite honestly. Car boot sale season at the moment, so there's loads of stuff to pick up for fairly cheaply. A lot of these now that I'm going through have been picked up from car boot sales. This is the last Daft Punk album, Random Access Memories. Quite a fan of their stuff. Didn't really like this one as much. It's quite commercial. Obviously, it's got Lucky on it with Get Lucky with Pharrell, which has been played to death. But not their best album by a long shot. Probably my least favourite. But this is a bit of a random one. This is Give to Live. This is Sammy Hagar. It's a CD single. It's only got one track on it, with being the title track. I wasn't sure about it. This is still sealed up as well. This is from a car boot sale. I paid £1. Discogs want 12 quid, they reckon. So who's the winner there? But no, I don't know what it's like. I'll probably leave that sealed, to be honest with you. Blink 182, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. This has got the Rock Show on it, which is probably my favourite track of theirs. I like them, but I'm not a massive fan of theirs. I think they're okay. This is Rolling Stones, Get Your Yayas Out. This was their first live album they did. So yeah, good stuff on here. Jumpin' Jack Flash, Love in Vain, which I really like. Street Fighting Man, Midnight Rambler, long version of that, Sympathy for the Devil. Good album. This one is the first Beatles anthology. I've got number 2. I'm not sure how many they did, maybe 4. This is number 1 anyway. So that's the 2-disc set. Always nice. This one came from a car boot sale. This is 91502 by Yes. This is the one with Trevor Horn on it. And this, or 90125, however you want to say it. Yeah, 90125. This was the remastered version, I think, with the bonus tracks on it. Owner of a Lonely Heart, obviously the most famous track. This is still sealed up, so I have heard the album. Adamant Hits is what it is. Adamant and slash Adam and the Ants greatest hits. So pretty much from Kings of the Wild Frontier up to Viva La Rock. I used to have this on vinyl as well, but it's cool enough. This one's a bit random. This is a bootleg. This is 5+4 at the O2. Not sure what the 5+4 even refers to, because there's literally 17 tracks on it. But I'm guessing it's a recording of the O2 concerts. So yeah, it's a bootleg. Literally got this last week. It's quite nicely done. 2007 concerts, yeah, December the 10th. So yeah, this one I've been after for a long time. Digital Noise Alliance by Queensryche. Finally picked this one up. Really good album. Lots of good, they're all pretty much good tracks on here. Nocturnal Light, probably my favourite track on here, but there's some good stuff. They do a cover of Rebel Yell by Billy Idol as well. But yeah, superb album, probably their best album since, I don't know, Empire maybe. This is Led Zeppelin BBC Sessions, 2 discs. Really love this as well. I was listening to this the other day. Some excellent versions, some really long versions. It's mainly their earlier tracks. I think it goes up to maybe Led Zepp 4. I don't think there's anything later than that. But yeah, well, if you're a Led Zepp fan, definitely well worth checking out. Jack White, his first album, solo album, Blunderbuss. Really like this album as well. Really like the White Stripes. Probably do a ranking of theirs at some key point. This is the only solo album of Jack's that I've got though, but I think he's a great guitarist, and yeah, I like his style. Morning Phase by Beck. This is more of a folky, low-key album of his. He does have different styles. This is one of those, but yeah, highly rated album, really good. John Bon Jovi, Destination Anywhere. This is the 2-disc version of that. I think it's got live stuff on it as well. Not really checked this one out. This is another Bon Jovi, Have a Nice Day. You can pretty much pick all their stuff up fairly cheaply now. This one's a better album. This one's quite hard rocking, a bit more back to their hard rocking style. It's pretty cool. This is Straight Outta Compton, NWA's the 20th anniversary edition. So it's got some bonus tracks on it. They're basically like yeah, guest features of yeah, their tracks. Gangster Gangster featuring Snoop Dogg and C Murder, for example. But yeah, the actual album is a classic, obviously. Oopsie. Black Celebration by Depeche Mode. Loads of really cool stuff on here. This is a remastered version, collector's edition apparently. Doesn't really look like a collector's edition, but apparently it is. Things like Question of Times on here, Stripped, and Fly on the Windscreen, Black Celebration, Question of Lust. So some banging tracks. Yeah, pretty much a fan of Depeche Mode. Jean-Michel Jarre, Revolutions. This one came out in late 80s, 88 maybe. Yeah, I like his stuff. I'm a fan of that kind of synth stuff. This one, double live album from Udo, Master Cuter Alive. He does a lot of Accept stuff on here. This one I got from a car boot sale, but did pay a bit more. I paid £4, maybe 6. No, I think it was 4. Either way, it's more than you normally pay for a CD at a car boot sale. But yeah, worth more. And say he's got some loads of cool Accept stuff on it. I'm not really familiar with a lot of his solo stuff, although I have seen him live. I think he was supporting Ozzy maybe back in Rest for the Wicked tour maybe. But yeah, good stuff. Roxy Music, Country Life, classic album cover. I'll shake it about a bit so you can't see the nudity. Good stuff. We have Hugh Lewis and the News 4. It's got an upside down back cover, but either way, this one has got loads of their famous stuff on it, like Hip to Be Square, which I love in the scene from the film American Psycho. Pretty much why I bought the album, to be honest with you. Stuck With You, Power of Love, so, you know, is what it is. But it's Huey Lewis and the News 4. Alchemy, Part 1 and 2. These come as separate discs. Apparently there is a double disc version of it. Really good from back in the day. Probably one of the best live sets. But yeah, Dire Straits live are great. And yeah, this is the 2 disc. Not even the 2 discs, 2 separate discs. Good stuff. Pogues, Rum, Sodomy and the Lash, a classic album. This is the remastered version. It's got bonus tracks on it as well. Wasn't sure if I liked the Pogues, but I do like this album. I think it's a really good, raucous album. First Duran Duran album. I've been wanting this one for a while. This one probably one of my favourites of theirs. Mainly for the track Night Boat, which I think is excellent. Careless Memories is on here, which is great. Obviously it's got the hits Girls on Film, Planet Earth, Is There Something I Should Know, which I don't think was on the original version, but regardless it's on there. But cool album nevertheless. New Order, Technique. This is their sort of Ibiza album, so this is really cool. It's kind of dancey / indie. Good stuff. Green Day, Father of All Motherfuckers, their worst album by a long way. Once again, it's a bit of a completionist kind of purchase. I think it was very, very cheap, so I couldn't really resist. But yeah, mercifully it's only half an hour long. It's really not their best album. I probably should give it another go. Maybe not. This is a band I've got into recently. They are an old school band, Crocus. One Vice at a Time, this one is. Once again, it's quite nice. I obviously collect a lot of CDs, but I do stream during the day when I'm driving around. I have Android Auto on my van, and it's great. These popped up, and it's like they basically, certainly this album sounds like Bon Scott era AC/DC, which I love. And this album, yeah, really, really cool. Excellent album. If you like Bon Scott era AC/DC. This is soundtrack Passion of the Christ, music for the Last Temptation of Christ, sorry, Passion by Peter Gabriel. So not checked this one out. I do like Peter Gabriel though, so be interesting to listen to. Riptide by Robert Palmer. This one's got Addicted to Love on it, and I Didn't Mean to Turn You On. Paul McCartney, this one's, I can't pronounce it 'cause it's in Russian. I think it's known as the Russian album on Discogs. Live stuff on here, pretty much rock and roll style, old school rock and roll. This album from Electronic, not checked this one out yet. This is Barney Sumner from New Order and Johnny Marr. Oh, definitely need to give this one a listen. This is the CD single of The Fly by U2. It's got The Fly, a remix of The Fly, I think, as well. Lounge Fly mix. And another Alex Descends into Hell for a Bottle of Milk. I used to have this, actually, I think. It's one of those ones that I had, then got rid of, then I've got again. But I might have had the vinyl of it once, I'm not sure. Morrissey, Your Arsenal. Love Morrissey, to be honest with you. I know he's once again a bit of a dirty word these days. This is probably his best album. This is most rock and roll, glam rock style, produced by Mick Ronson, from David Bowie's like Ziggy Stardust band. So yeah, cool stuff on here. Really like that album. Another New Order album, Republic. Another Morrissey album, Kill Uncle. This one not quite as good as the other one, but still pretty good. He's done a lot of solo albums actually, and I need to get them pretty much all. This one I've been wanting for a while as well. Tin Machine, David Bowie's sort of rock and roll, metal-y kind of band. Didn't have great reviews at the time, but I think it's a really cool album, quite honestly. And the last one we've got through a fair few here, is Welcome to Sky Valley by Caius. Obviously this was Josh Omi, however you want to say his name, but a cool stoner sludge rock album. So yeah, that's what I've been picking up in the last couple of months, and yeah, thanks for tuning back in. We will go through, I've still got a tea to finish off. Not my tea or a cup of tea, but the letter T of CD. So we've got like things like Testament and others to show off in that. And then we'll go through, we've got U, which is mainly U2, quite honestly. And then V, and we'll be doing the Van Halen ranking. W, there's a lot of stuff in W, things like Whitesnake and the Wild Hearts and Wasp. They'll all get proper rankings for those as well. So thanks for tuning in once again. Keep watching because I will be around, and yeah, catch you all next time. Till then, take it steady. I'll try not to leave it so long for the next video. Cheers. Ta-da.